All right, so we're going to get ready. Saudi. Yes. Seriously? We're not going to record. Yes, I'm recording. Oh my goodness. Guys, welcome to Design Your Life Coaching. Thank you so much, guys, for dialing in. Are they dialing in or they're just watching the recording?
Watching works.
Watching works? All right. So first of all, we want to apologize for the last minute change in our venue. We were supposed to meet by Times Square, but unfortunately, due to circumstances outside of our control, we had to change this. However, we did not want to cancel it completely because I know how excited all of you were to show up to this amazing training. So let me kick it off because I know there's several of you that were coming tonight that we haven't met. So I want to introduce. So first of all, my name is Micki Fernandez. I am a 7-star elite Beachbody coach. I joined Beachbody back in October 2009. Seems like it was just yesterday. And I joined because I love helping people. It's just part of my DNA, who I am. And honestly, I did it just out of pure pleasure of helping people, not realizing that this Beachbody business was going to be my ticket out of corporate America. I was vice president for Citibank. I was in corporate America for 27 years. And I was totally unhappy being in a toxic environment, you know, being stressed out, working like, I don't know, 12, 13 hours, 6 days a week. Can anybody relate to that? Not too much fun, right? No. And thank goodness for Beachbody. Because during that time, I was going crazy, like looking for a solution to get out of banking, not realizing that my solution was right under my nose. And for many of you, you're looking for a solution, and it's right here, guys. And what this business has done for me is giving me the freedom to live the life, to design the life that I want. And for those of you that have been following me on Facebook and Instagram, you all know that I went on this amazing trip to Greece. And if it wasn't for Beachbody, that would have never happened. So in addition to having that free time of just going and coming whenever I want, without having to ask for permission to do so, this business has given me the opportunity to take care of my mom. And I almost feel like I live in a doctor's office. Like every time I talk to Saudi or to everyone, like, I have a doctor's appointment. I got to take my mom. So, you know, I actually just got back from a doctor's appointment. And guess what? I'm going back on Thursday. You know, that's what happens when your parents get old. But at least you're there for him. I am. Because, you know, when I was working at Citibank, I would have to ask for permission to take some time off. And I'm my own boss. And I'm such a great boss that I always give myself time off, you know? So with that, that's who I am. I'm going to turn it over to Saudi, and she'll introduce herself.
Hi, everybody. So I'm Saudi Almonte, and I became a coach in December of 2010. I am an 11-star, 12 or 13-star qualifying diamond coach.
Congratulations.
That's a lot of stars. I love it. I love my diamonds. Everybody on my organization is amazing. So my brother bribed me, forced me, whatever you want to call it. I always say that because I think it's totally funny how it all happened. And, you know, it's been the best thing that's ever happened to me because I've probably would have never done this and I wouldn't have had the success that I'm having. And I've been a coach a little less than 4 years now, and it's totally changed my life. As many of you may know me, I was very overweight, and not only have I lost 100 pounds, but I've also found—
Hold on a second. 100 pounds, guys. That's a lot of pounds. So please, I hope you're all clapping. Woohoo! All right, sorry, I need to interrupt.
She loves that stuff.
I do.
She loves it. Yeah, I lost 100 pounds, and that's actually what started it all off for me because it made me see how strong I really am. And I always say, you know, get out of your own head. Well, I got out of my own head, and I found a way to get rid of that quitter who I was. I was always a quitter who always found a shortcut, always looking for a diet pill, never accomplished anything. You know, I would start something and I wouldn't finish it. And because I finished P90X, it made me see life in a total different way, because now I finished anything that I put myself through. And I also encourage my family, my friends, and my kids to do the same. You know, once you find that inner strength, that inner beast that we all have, it's like you're on fire. And that's what I've been on fire for the last 4 years. So thank you, bro. So that's that part. And now how has Beachbody changed my life is that I have found purpose. A lot of the women that I've attracted are very similar to who I am. And it just makes getting up in the morning so much more worth it. Like I feel like, you know, I'm on top of the world because I mean something in somebody else's life. I've changed not only myself, but many others' lives as well. And I'm forever grateful for the women that I've encouraged. I also have built a really amazing income. I probably will be the first in my family to be a $500,000 earner by the end of the year. I don't even know what that feels like, to be honest. I'm still the same person. I make almost $400,000 a year now. And I honestly just look at everybody like, I just want to shake you up and help you. Like, come on, make this happen. It's so easy if you just put your heart into it. You know, and that brings me into introducing our amazing, amazing friend, George, who's only been a coach for half the time, and he's catching up like you wouldn't imagine. So George.
Oh, yours, George.
So my name is George Badim, 3-star diamond coach, and I joined Beachbody on November 15th or something of 2012. I just signed up online to get the discounts because I was doing Insanity at home and I loved it and I wanted to continue using Beachbody products. So I went online and I was going to order Insanity, the real copy, so that I can get my shirt. Don't ask.
Don't judge.
But I was going to buy it, and I signed up as a coach because I saw the possibility to make a little bit of additional income for our household. So I was a financial analyst at a hospital. I've been working there for 12 years. And while we were living a pretty average lifestyle, middle-class income, you know, with a home and all of the fun stuff, we were still kind of tight for money, and everybody can use a little extra cash in their pocket. Why not? So I signed up and didn't do anything for a month or two. And then January of 2013, so last year, I went to Super Saturday, and that's when I decided this is what I wanted to do.
Ah, did you say Super Saturday?
Super Saturday!
Did you buy your tickets for Super Saturday? All right.
You made me cry on Super Saturday. The story was just...
I'm sorry. Back to George.
But yeah, I went home and I told my wife at the time, I said, Katie, give me 1 year. Let's see what we can do with Team Beachbody. Worst case scenario, 1 year from now, we're in the best shape of our lives and we walk away losing nothing. So here we are 20 months later now. And what Beachbody has done for me is it has gotten me in the absolute best shape of my life, 67 pounds lighter. And,
He has
not at the very moment. Give me a few days.
That's the beauty about this, that as coaches, you know, we're not perfect and we fluctuate and we are at our best at certain points, but events like Super Saturday, like I'm on point right now. Like I would look hot.
We're going to Arizona next week.
That's right, girl.
That's the Beachbody.
That's right. So we're like on our way to being at the best shape, you know.
It's true.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So back to George.
Yep.
Yeah. So
anything else?
that's it. I mean, it has allowed me to leave my job of 12 years. So I now work for myself, for Team Beachbody, and with all these amazing people. So you can do it too.
Awesome.
The three of us are stay-at-home Beachbody coaches. Exactly. You know what I forgot to say? I forgot that I am debt-free, something that I have never, ever known what it was like, not even when I was a kid, because when you go to high school, the first thing they give you is freaking credit card applications.
Yeah.
Trust me,
So
I was a banker. Let me tell you, I was a banker, and what did we do for these freshmen that would come in? We would stand in the corner giving them our credit cards.
Well, guess what? I cut one of those up last year.
Did you really?
Because of my Beachbody income. I paid for everything cash, vacations, all that stuff you see me doing, guys. It's all with my Beachbody income.
You know what? I actually paid for Greece, all cash. Do not put anything on a credit card.
That's beautiful.
Thanks to Beachbody.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you. All right. So
let's have some fun.
Let's have some fun. You know, the goal here today, as most of you are, I believe the audience is primarily new coaches. So this workshop is going to highlight the most important parts of your Beachbody business. And like I said, highlight. Because at the end of the day, you are the CEO of your company, and it is your responsibility to show up every day and go to the back office. It's amazing stuff in the back office, I'm telling you. So the first thing we want to talk about is, what's your purpose? What's your purpose? Why are you here? And I like to talk about the golden circle. And what the golden circle is, it's the what, the how, and the why. So the what of the golden circle is what we do as Beachbody coaches. So we help people live a healthy, fulfilling lifestyle. And not only do we help people with their physical transformation, but most importantly, it's the internal transformation, because that's the transformation that really counts. It's the one that happens inside, Absolutely. Which is the first one that everyone sees and more than anything feels. It's what you feel first. You start feeling a little different. So that's what we do as Beachbody coaches, is that we help others while we're going through our own journey. And, you know, people become relatable to us because we're also in the same process. You know, like I've heard some coaches that say, oh, but you know, Micki, I'm still not in the best shape of my life. You know, I don't know that I can coach people.
I shared from the beginning, and it's what made me accountable. Had I not done that, I would have quit.
Same here.
Right. So in other words, you shared your journey from day one.
I would have quit because that's what I was known for.
As a quitter.
As a quitter. But because I put it out there and I had other people counting on me,
mm-hmm.
I wasn't going to quit on that.
Yeah. So what does that mean, guys? That we need to share what we do. You need to share with your family, with your friends, whether it's in person. You know, social media is a big part of this business, is to share your journey, because that's when you're going to start attracting people who are just like you. So that's the what. That's what we do. And, you know, how we do this, and I just shared a little bit of it. We share whether it's in person, whether it's through social media. Perfect example is I was just sharing with my colleagues here is that at the doctor's office today, when they brought my mother into the weigh-in room, and you know they weigh her, and the nurse says, "Oh my goodness, everybody weighs less than me," because she was a little heavy set, middle-aged woman. And I said to her, "Well, I can help you." And that struck up a conversation. I got her contact information. She was at work. She couldn't really spend a lot of time talking. And I grabbed her info. And that's it. So I'm going to follow up with her. And I just share with her that in 21 days, she can form a new habit and start seeing results. And you know what happened? I gave her hope, because her eyes were like lit up. Like, really, you can help me? That's what people want. And then I show her my before and after picture.
I always do that. I actually have in my phone your before and after, George's, mine. Like, I have a few that I really, really like.
Because you know what happens is a lot of people, because they see our infomercials. I mean, everybody knows Beachbody.
But it's not.
And so when they see these transformations on either the web or they see them in the infomercial, they think, is that Photoshop? Are those real people? So that's why it's important to carry pictures on our phone so that we can show, and especially our transformation. And you don't need to be at your ideal weight, but you can show, right, your growth.
Definitely.
Right? So that's what it's all about. So that's, that's how we do it. In person, Facebook, Instagram. There's a whole load of other social networks. That's how we do it.
And we'll show you a little down the line in our training. I hope you guys have your handouts that you were supposed to print if you were invited to the workshop. Mm-hmm. And that will help you in that area if you're still not comfortable sharing face-to-face, because I know it takes a little time.
Yeah, of course. So the what and the how, we all have the same platform. So everybody has access to the same tools that we have, the same access that the top coaches in this organization has. We all have access to the same information. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, Micki, what's going to make, prospect A come to me, versus Saudi or George or Micki? What's the difference? You want to know the difference? You're the difference. And it's your why. It's why people connect to you. And this is the reason why we started this training right now, talking about your purpose. And it all starts with your story. You know, many people say, oh, Micki, I don't have a story. Yes, you do. We all have a story. We've all, the minute you came out of your mother's womb, your story started. That's where it started.
Absolutely.
From your mother's womb, that's where it started. So a lot of people are stuck in their ways because of situations that have happened in their past. And what I love about this business, in this health and fitness business, like I said earlier, that it's not just the physical transformation that you're going to see change, but it's the internal, it's the growth that's going to come out. And this is where your story plays a major role, actually the number one role, I would have to say. And it starts with you writing it out. Yeah, I know, right? You don't want to write it out? Yeah, I trust me, I feel your pain. So here's the thing, and this is where everything that you've gone through in your life serves a purpose. And I didn't realize what I'm about to share with you that served a major purpose in Team Eagle and every new member that's coming on board. But I had to go through a annulment process, I don't know, many moons ago. I think maybe like 20 years ago. And little did I know that that annulment process served a purpose 20 years later. 20 years later. Why, you ask? Let me tell you why. Because I had to write out, you guessed it, my story. I had to write out my story. And it was not an easy process. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. I'm not going to tell you it's going to be easy, because it's not. However, what came out of that, writing out that story, a healing process came out of that story. By writing out my story, that is when I realized the reason why I made poor choices in choosing a spouse. I did it twice. But the third one's coming.
I'll catch up to you.
You'll catch up to me. The third one is coming. You know what I mean? And I learned, and it all had to do with my relationship with my dad. Yeah, it went back to my relationship with my father. And if it wasn't because of writing out my story, that healing process would have not happened. I would have not forgiven my father. I would have not forgiven husband A, husband B. You know what I mean? So, and guess what? I had that outline. So I made it easy for you. I have the outline where you're going to write out your story. So that's the first step. You write out your story. And then when you write out your story, you're going to share it with your sponsoring coach. Share with your sponsoring coach. And then the next step after that is on your Facebook wall, I want you to write down, describe me in one word. And you're going to see how people perceive you. And based on all those words that people perceive you, and you go back to your story, you're going to see a correlation. Like, for example, if one of the words that comes from your Facebook feedback is that you're loving, you can go back to your story and realize maybe that you were missing that in your life at one point. And because you missed it, now you get it. You see the connection? So there's a huge connection there.
But you give it without knowing why.
Exactly.
And that's why you need to write your story.
You need to write your story.
It's hard and it's difficult, and it gets you all, all these feelings come back, but then you'll understand why you did certain things, why God made you go through so much struggle if you did. Even if you grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth, you have a story. You were probably bullied at one point, made fun of. That all plays a purpose. And the people that you're attracting usually have the same past and the same story. And that's why they're going to come to you. I attract a lot of women who've had, who've been in domestic abusive relationships, who, grew up in households that were pretty difficult. And it's because we can relate to each other. Of course.
You just said the word bully, and we talk about that every time we do these trainings, like something opens up again. Yeah. Because we have different chapters, and within each chapter, there's like different paragraphs. And as you said, bully, I was bullied as a kid. Did I ever tell you that?
You told me, and it was that story.
Sometimes I forget about that. I had some these girls that came and, smacked the crap out of me in front of my house.
That happened to me too. I used to be threatened that they were going to cut my hair. A bunch of girls in my school.
Girls smacking me all the time.
Did you really see? That's
different, George. I think most guys wouldn't mind that stuff. Girl, smack George. You're a freak.
But anyhow, back to the purpose.
Yeah.
Back to the purpose. Yeah, writing out your story, going on your wall, asking for your audience to describe you in a word. And then what you do is you take all those words, you go back and you read your story, and you come up with a power statement, like my purpose, my why. And then you share that with your upline. You may not get it the first time around. It may take 1 or 2 or 3 times for you to come up with that.
Maybe your upline will say, no, that's not good enough. Because, Micki and I had to do this with corporate, but obviously she helped me because she went through it first. And I know when I gave her mine, she was like, no, that's not good enough. Like, that's not it. And we were back.
But you know what's most important is that power statement has to convict your heart. Mm-hmm. Not your sponsoring coach, but your heart. And the reason why, like when we were going back and forth, I'm like, I just wasn't feeling it because I knew Saudi's story and I just felt it was more powerful.
And she was right.
And then when I said that to her, she didn't push back. She's like, okay, let me keep digging. And then she got it because then you felt the conviction. So that power statement doesn't need to make sense to anyone else but you. Why? Because then that power statement is going to be your driving force to get up every morning and give it your all, give it your best. That's what that power statement does.
Absolutely.
There are days when you get up and you just don't want to do things. And listen, that happened to me just recently. Going through some personal stuff, some health stuff.
I get pissed at my wife, at my purpose. Sometimes like my purpose is pissing me off right now.
Oh, yeah, that happened the other day, right?
Yeah.
And but then you look back at your purpose.
Yeah. It checks you.
It does check you. It does check you because my purpose just recently is what gave me hope to keep going in the midst of adversity. Because God didn't promise us that life was going to be a bed of roses. So, and as long as we can come to terms with that and really unite yourself with people and surround yourself, that's the word I really want to say. Surround yourself with people that are like-minded like you are, that want to edify you. And that's what we have to offer.
See, the thing is that when you work for corporate America, you're tied to a contract most of the time, or, you just have to work. It's a position that you took and you just can't quit. Most people stay in positions that they're unhappy for years and years and years, but you have something that ties you to that position. And most of the time it's either a contract or, you want to try and hold, stick it out for as long as you can. But for us, we're independent contractors. So we need something that's going to hold us to this business, because otherwise we give up on ourselves. Not everybody's strong enough to just stick it out, right? And it's not easy because nothing that's this great, nothing that's going to give you this much money, nothing that's going to make you a millionaire is easy. I'm sorry.
No, you got to be, as you say that, one of the things that my former mother-in-law said to me, and I'll never forget those words. Kind of forgot her, but those words I didn't forget. And she always said to me, Micki, when you work hard at something, it's going to be hard to take it away from you because you work so hard. But when something is when you get something that's so easy, what does that mean? It easy comes and easy goes.
Yeah. No value.
It has no value. So see, even my former mother-in-law had a purpose.
But everybody does. Everybody in our life does. So what I mean to say
is her coquitos, though. Like I gotta miss her coquitos during Christmas time.
I could go for some of that right now.
Oh my God,
I'm starving. She has me drinking water. So what I mean is, when you find that purpose, that power statement, it's your driving force, and it's what will never let you quit.
Yeah. And with that, the last thing that I want to touch upon with what's your purpose is, after you write this out and come up with those words, is I want you guys to really dig deep and ask yourself, what is it that you want out of life? It's to spend more time with your children. It's to go on vacation. It's to be financially free. Like, what are your goals? Because your purpose and your goals are two different things. Exactly. They're completely two different things. And this is where your vision board comes up. Everyone should have a vision board.
Becoming a visionary takes you to a whole other part of life. Oh my
goodness, it really does.
And things start coming to life.
They start happening. Let me tell you when I started becoming a visionary. it was during my darkest moments, believe it or not, during my darkest moments in my second marriage, I started listening to Joel Osteen. And Joel Osteen is a visionary. He really is. And one of the things that he said was, when you want something, put it in a picture frame, whatever it is.
Oh, wow.
He did. He says, put it in a picture frame, write it out. He says, if you're praying for a spouse, buy the picture frame and put it out there. I already did. And my mother thought, like,
what does he look like?
No, I bought the picture frame.
Oh, okay.
I bought the picture. What does he look like? I don't know what he looks like, but I have the picture frame. My mother,
let's start finding pictures.
My mother thought I was nuts. She's like, you are not putting a blank picture frame. People are gonna think you're crazy. I said, I am crazy.
Let's find like a cute hot guy that you like, and let's put a picture of him in the picture frame.
Okay, so that's for a second, Jordan. But back to the purpose. Back to. But that's where I got this whole thing about vision. And during my time when I was working at Citibank, and I love to share the story because it was just so powerful. I had to take the Series 7 test, which is the securities license. And I needed to pass that test in order to keep my job. Because if I didn't pass the test, they were going to fire me. And, I had bills to pay. Yeah. Mm. So I lived and breathed the Series 7 test. That's all I did. So I remember what Joel Osteen said about writing down what you want. And what I wanted was to pass this damn test. So I literally took a blank piece of paper and I wrote down, I will pass the Series 7 test. And I must have written it down probably with at least 10 sheets of paper. And I put it in my living room, in my dining room, in my bedroom. My husband thought it was crazy. In my bathroom. Everywhere I turned around, it said, I will pass the Series 7 test. I will pass the Series. So then you know what? I started believing it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to pass it. But in order for me to pass it, I have to study. So I had to take action.
Absolutely.
You got to take action. Because you can say you want something, but if you don't,
you have to set dates.
And you have to set, and trust me, I was on a deadline. Because I had the date of the test and I just had to make it happen. And guess what? I passed. I passed with a 77. Good. And I remember my boss saying to me, you study 7% too much. All you needed was a 70. But all I know is that I passed. But yeah, that was the first time I actually put my goals on paper. That's something that I desperately needed. So you need to do the same thing. We all need to do the same thing. Put that vision board,
and if you're like busy and I mean, some people will like the whole doing it in Scrap, but you can do it on an app. So I did mine on Pick Collage. And it's funny because when I look at it, a lot of the things that I had on here already happened. I had vacations. Mm-hmm. I had an event for our leaders, and Micki and I did that last year. That I wanted to give my start in my diamonds gifts. I have a picture of tranquility, a picture with my family, a picture of a pillow that says "World's Most Awesome Grandma" to remind me to spend time with my grandma, and I do that. The only thing I don't have yet that's on here is that I want a chef.
I have mine too. Mine is in here. I guess a couple of things, have happened. The one I'm still waiting for though is,
I have maybe 2 things that haven't happened. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I have about 2 that haven't happened either. Dream big.
Yeah, I'm going to dream bigger. I'm going to make a new one. Let's set a deadline.
You know what? You're right. I need a new one. And I will tell you that when I went on vacation to Greece, that's when I realized that I wasn't dreaming big enough. Like there's so much out there for us to go after. And that was a huge wake-up call for me.
It seems ridiculous. Put it on your vision board.
Definitely.
Yeah, the crazier it is, the better.
Oh, yeah.
The crazier it is, the better. Don't most successful people are not all there. That explains a lot.
And they're usually not perfect. And
that usually explains a lot.
I have this new thing that we say, me and a buddy of mine that we're training for an event. I'm not crazy, I'm amazing.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact, your friend, he's kind of hotty. Should I put him on my picture? On my thing?
Howard?
Oh, I'm sorry. We're doing training.
However you want him to look, put him on the picture. I'll help you find him.
All right, guys. So that sort of covers the what's your purpose. But you know what? The what's purpose, before I turn it over to Sally, that's going to talk about managing systems and having a uniform process in place, is that your purpose, truly, that driving force is the foundation for your life. You know, I was going to say years for your business, but it's much deeper than that. It's for your entire life, guys. Okay. So I'll turn it over to Saudi. And when I turn it over to Saudi, please excuse me. I have to finish up my Shakeology.
Hi, everybody. I'm back. So this part in your agenda, you see that it says, we want to make sure that you all bringing in your coaches in a uniform fashion. You know, Team Eagle is organization of 5,000 plus coaches, and you know, we want to make sure everybody is getting the same, is bringing in their coaches the same way. So the first thing you want to do is send your coach a welcome email, and that email is found in the back office in training guides, right? In your new coach training academy under reference materials. Yep. I hope you've all taken done the training in there, because that was one of the requirements to attend this training. And we usually do a fun exercise to make sure that you did. But since we're not live, we can't do that. But I hope that you gave yourself the opportunity to really learn your business and take it as serious as if you went to the bank and took out a loan of $100,000 and you had to pay the bank every month. If you treat this business that way, you will be successful. Most of us don't, because it's so cheap to be a coach. It's only $15 a month, and you get like 4 websites. That's unheard of. I pay $25 for hosting on one of my websites. So I've never heard of a business being so cheap. But anyway, that's that part. And I guess that's why we were talking about before about value. That's why people don't value this business. And that's why we're here to change your limited beliefs and help encourage you to do this business. The next thing on there is the 3 Danny Johnson calls. Everybody says the same thing about Danny Johnson, that she's annoying. Yeah, I know. Her voice is the most uncomfortable voice to listen to.
But you know what? In person, she's not like that.
She's not.
That's crazy. Though. In person, she's not like that.
And she's probably not the right person to start off an amateur in marketing, because she's very advanced. But most of our population has a lot of limited beliefs.
Absolutely.
And what is the word that we keep using recently, because of our community being mostly, you know, Latino, whatever, and they don't aspire, I guess, you know, and she breaks you down, and she helps you become a visionary, and she helps you understand what's stopping you from being successful or from even committing to your challenge. So it's important that you include those 3 calls. Most people don't do it. They don't listen to it. The ones that do
get it.
They get it. They're like him.
Because you know what I love about those 3 Danny Johnson calls is that one of the things that she asks in, I think it's the first call, what is the number one reason?
Reason people don't. People stop. I forget how she phrased it. But.
Yeah.
I don't think it's in there, but it's where you have to look at yourself.
Yeah.
Because most of the time it's not, you know, when you're getting told no, or you're attracting the wrong people, it's usually because you haven't worked on yourself and you haven't committed
to yourself. It's excuses. That's the number one reason why people don't commit. It's excuses. That's the bottom line. And then she really stresses the importance about auto ship. Why we need to be on auto ship. I mean, and it goes hand in hand with one of our vital behaviors, which is being a product of the product. We have to be walking billboards.
Yep. And then I go into the 7-day quick start. So once you send your coach the welcome email and you get it back, most of the time you don't, because again, people don't value this business. But you always have to try. And if you don't get it, maybe, you know, send them a little nudge or whatever. Or get on the phone and just move right on to the 7-day quick start and then disarm them. When I say disarm them, I had the pleasure of being on a national wake-up call for Beachbody with over 5,000, more than 5,000 coaches listening, where I shared the power of the 7-day quick start and how it helped me grow my business. And it kind of was a smackdown for me, because I lived in Florida. Most of my coaches were here in New York, and I wasn't really doing the 7-day quick start because I didn't like it. I don't like getting on the phone. I don't like the 7-day quick start. But it has changed my business. And usually it's the things we don't like to do that impact our business the most. And the reason why is because you have the opportunity to actually share 3 stories from the beginning of the document, where it says, who is your upline coach, your diamond coach, and your star diamond. So if you're a brand new coach and you just signed up, you're their upline coach. So you can share really quick what this business has done for you, whether you're a week in or a year in. If you have made changes, if you did a 3-day cleanse and you feel amazing, if your family is eating different, if you were able to run a few miles, whatever you have changed in your life because of Beachbody, share that with them. Because if you're talking to a stay-at-home mom or a school teacher or a nurse or a doctor, it doesn't matter who it is, everybody wants change in their life. And your change might be the change that they are looking for. And if it's not, then go to the next story. So let's say I'm the diamond coach, or Micki or George is the diamond coach. You got 3 stories right here that'll knock the socks out of anybody. So if you want to say, I quit my job in less than a year, doubled my income from working a government job, that was never going to give me a raise, and was able to stay at home with my boys and become a stay-at-home mom and now making, more than 6 figures, that's powerful. You can share that I was a high school dropout, got pregnant at 18, give it to them all. I don't care. I'm an open book. And if you want to talk about George was working in the medical field for how long, George?
12 years.
Yep.
And he's making 6 figures already.
And I was in the banking industry for almost 27 years. And not only have I replaced my 6-figure salary, I'm actually making more money than I did at Citibank. And I also pay for my own insurance.
Look at that.
Yeah, so
look at that. So those are the things that will.
Those are stories.
Exactly. And you'll learn that with the 3 calls. You see, it's a little package that everybody wants to skip. And they want to come into this and be up here when they eliminate what's down here, and what's down here is what's going to get you up there. So
yeah, I'm glad. I don't mean to cut you off. Mm-hmm. Actually, I do. But
it's okay. I love that.
But you just said something that was really powerful. That, a lot of the coaches, because, we're sharing our success. And there's a lot of successful people in our business, in Team Beachbody, and within our group in Team Eagle. But we all started down here. Mm-hmm. We've all had sleepless nights. Heck, we still have sleepless nights.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't stop. It doesn't end. If you have
purpose, it doesn't end.
It just doesn't end. Yesterday again was a perfect example. I was totally out of it. I couldn't be in the team call because I had lost my voice and I couldn't talk. I was still groggy from some of the medication that I was on, but I still showed up. My purpose kept me going. I was still sending messages, even though I couldn't talk, but I could type. So
absolutely. You can't skip the small stuff. Listen, my first check was $30.
So it's mine.
So it's mine. So it is what it is. But I went to Beachbody school and I schooled myself. And Micki and I didn't have the luxury that George has. That George kind of skipped all the mistakes that Micki and I made, and he went straight to the meat of the business. But he didn't skip the small stuff. The small stuff is what will make you successful. Things like this, meeting with your coaches. George is forever meeting with his coaches, getting them started right, walking them through this opportunity for 30 days until they take off.
And, that's what I love so much about our growing team. Like you said, that a lot of the coaches coming in now are avoiding the pitfalls that we went through.
Yeah.
But
they want to skip everything.
They want to skip
everything.
Like we have some, honestly, George is going to be more successful than me. He's way ahead of me, even though I signed up back in 2009. Why? Because homeboy over here took off from day one. Me, I saw this as a hobby, so I didn't take off for another 2 years. Mm-hmm. So,
Absolutely. But there's a reason for everything.
Of course.
Can I add one more thing?
Go ahead.
About that section? So, not for everybody, but for most people, it's going to be 3 different people.
Definitely.
Right.
The reason for that is so that you can have somebody that relates to whoever you're talking to. If you're talking to someone who just needs a few bucks, they might relate to your story because you're just starting off.
Yep.
If you're talking to somebody who that's not enough for them, they might relate to the diamond. If you're talking to a doctor or a lawyer and that's not enough for them, they might relate to that star diamond.
There's 3 different stories you can use. And if, you're coming in with a coach that maybe is all three of them are starting off, which is rare. Usually our store diamond is taking on, like, use our stories, guys. Come on, interview us. Send us a message.
Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta add one more thing to this.
Do it. I'll drink water while you
drink water.
Interrupt me.
What's really also important is that when it's your turn, when you want yours, when it's your turn, sorry, that's Saudi for you. But when it's your turn to do the 7-day quick start, and when you start sharing that, you know, you're their sponsoring coach, share what Beachbody has done for you, even if it means that you were able to pay your phone bill. Whatever it is that is done for you, share it.
Absolutely.
You know, share it. You know,
and the weight loss and everything. Everything. Everybody has a story. It's just thinking about it and putting it together. Then we talk about corporate and coach relations and technical support. This stuff has value, guys. If somebody plugs in to these avenues, they're going to get inspired not only by the Team Eagle calls, but by a successful coach every single week. You know, and a lot of us fail to tell our team about that. And I get it all the time. Well, I didn't know we had a national call. Well, yeah, we do. Didn't you upline tell you that? No. So it's sad, you know, that you get that bad rep without even having to do that. And a lot of times it's because of fear. Then we talk about staying connected. Oh my God, this is like the most amazing part, because now you see how I make the 7-day quick start sound like fun? I didn't know how to do this before. And I do it just like this on the phone with my clients. So you talk about Team Beachbody 411 on Facebook. Everything a coach needs to know is there. And what you want is for your coaches to get exposed to all the Beachbody lingo and the hype and the success, and to get to know our CEO. And then you have his page, and you have the Twitter page. If they're on Twitter, people ignore Twitter. Let me tell you, you know the contest and the prizes that Carl Deichler gives on Twitter, which reminds me, Carl Deichler owes me a gift. I got to talk to him about that.
He does, right?
Yeah, because I won one of his Twitter contests.
Tell him at leadership.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, tell him ahead of time so he can have it for you at leadership.
Absolutely. I'll tell Jeremy tomorrow on the call.
Got it.
So YouTube on Team Beachbody, you know that all our trainings, you know when people tell me, oh, I don't have time? Bullshit. Our freaking trainings on YouTube. Did you guys know that? All of the training in the back office is on YouTube. You can knock that shit out in an hour if you want it. And you're skipping that, and you're going straight to other things that are not going to make you successful. And then we go to the 3 vital behaviors. When you talk to people about the 3 vital behaviors and you tell them, okay, so this is how I share. You know how in your job, you know, you have a training that you go through, or you have commitments. You know, for me, there was bylaws. There was, you know, you had to sign on a dotted line every year. There was these bylaws and what do you call it? Policies and procedures. And, you know, you couldn't wear flip-flops. You couldn't this. You know what hours are? Yeah. Hours are the most easiest and amazing vital behaviors. It's your contract. Like, literally make a dot and a line and sign it. Invite. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Be proof that this product works, and do your personal development. Even if you don't want to work this business, if you invite people, every single day to your Facebook page, you're going to become purpose-driven. Yep. Because you're going to be inspiring people through your journey, and that's going to help you get your results. So maybe you don't want to work the business, or you don't want to sell, which I don't understand why you wouldn't want to make money or, you know, help another person. Then you really must be shallow. But that's it. Sharing what's working for you, and then being proof that it works. Don't just share lies, you know, and steal other people's recipes. Like, really commit to your journey and be proof that the product works. Like, post day 1, day 30, day 60, and day 90. Those pictures are your credibility as a coach. That's how you get credibility as a coach. That is going to have the most value in your business. And then the ones that you get from your challengers and your friends and your family. George has this thing called Transformation Tuesday, and his wall on Tuesdays is ridiculous. He doesn't even have to post on Tuesdays. He's going to close a challenge pack. So if part of George's system really is just work Sunday, Monday, because Tuesday he's going to close everybody he talked to on Sunday, Monday. He doesn't even have to say anything. Some people don't even think about that. And then the last one is personal development. Personal development has made me a better wife, a better mother, a better coach, and successful. Mm-hmm. I used to scream at my oldest son for every little thing. And I have changed like you wouldn't imagine. And I have built a relationship with him that I am forever grateful. And I forgot to say that when I said, what has Beachbody done for me? That is probably the number one, because I thought I was crazy raising him. I thought that kid was going to drive me to drink. But personal development helped me through that. And it also made me see that I wasn't the best wife and that I wasn't the best sister. I have to work on my sister part. I don't call my brother everything. I'm going to work on that. I need a book for that. But you see what I'm saying? Personal development is not only going to help you with this business, it's going to help you as a person. So I don't know why people skip it. And then we talk about personalizing your website and then the electronic funds transfer.
And that's actually all now as far as...
Is you click on it.
Yeah, you click on it. And it's also part of the welcome email.
Yeah.
That the coaches get directly to Team Beachbody sends you a welcome email. Mm-hmm. It's right in there.
But you know, I like talking about the electronic funds.
Oh, absolutely.
You know why?
Absolutely.
Because when you tell them they get paid every Thursday, you know that some people only get paid once or twice a month.
I know. No, I know.
So for me, you know, when I worked for the school board and my son needed baseball equipment and it wasn't pay week, I had to wait until the end of the month. You know, so when this opportunity came into my life, Micki, like that was one of my aha moments. Like, we get paid every Thursday? Yeah. I love that. So I always talk about that, whatever works for you, you know. And then the why, you know, most people won't know what their why is. They're going to say, oh, I just want some extra money. Maybe, you know, I want to buy a new car. Or I want to go on a vacation. Or I want to be able to afford, you know, karate for my kid. Let them put that down. It's their why that they give you that day or in the email is usually not the right one, but
it evolves. It evolves over time.
Yeah, run with it, and as they grow, they'll you know. But don't bore them and say you have to write your story, and not with a new coach until they come to the workshop or you've met with them over coffee or whatever. Then talk about the national call again, and maybe throw in a plug for a Team Eagles calls on Monday nights. Set some goals, guys. Setting goals. By this point, if you see, right, the first part of the document is all done. By that point, you've already shifted a person who says they were a discount coach. Instantly. Even if they don't share with you, you've already planted the seed. And some of you may get discouraged because you may not get the aha right away. Trust me, let it marinate. People don't shift right away because they don't want to overwhelm you and they don't want to show you that you got them excited. Most people don't share that side of them. So you have to let it marinate, but still set some goals. Say, listen, I see you being being an emerald within this date. What do you think, what do you think the date will be that you do these things? And set some goals on Success Club, set some goals on becoming an emerald, getting 3 customers, and explain that stuff. And if you don't know this stuff, then you didn't do your training. You got to go back to do your training. Talk about what it takes to become an emerald coach. And you have all these handouts in here to get this stuff, to help your new client visualize what it takes to be an emerald. You know, when you put something on paper, it just happens.
And can I add something about when we start talking about emerald? That's when also you'll realize as you're doing this document that you're creating vision pretty much in every category, because as an emerald, that's when we share the value that being an emerald has.
Definitely.
And the fact that Beachbody, I mean, like, what other company gives you free customers, gives you free paying up customers?
We're the only company that, those infomercials you see on TV, all those customers that call into the 1-800 number are routed to coaches like us because we've advanced in
But you need to be an emerald in order for that to happen. And, and I know that it talks about Success Club, and we're going to talk a little bit further in our training about Success Club and the importance of hidden Success Club. Yeah,
and you can, mention if you haven't gone on a trip, you can say, Micki and George and Saudi just came back from an amazing trip. They were qualified to go to a cruise. They're going to leadership. Share, get your facts together. Understand this stuff. It's important.
And Cancun. We're going to Cancun in April.
Oh my God, I can't wait for that. I would have never imagined that I was going to Cancun. I never traveled. I've
always wanted to Cancun. I've never been to Cancun. And I'm going, you know, all expenses paid for by Beachbody.
Since I became a coach, I've been to the Bahamas, I've been to Vegas, I've been to California. Like, from a person who was living paycheck to paycheck, who had never traveled anywhere. So it's pretty awesome. And then you talk about listing people that they want to help. And there's a memory jogger. You know, they might not share that stuff with you at that moment. Don't push them so hard to do that, because again, you want to just plant the seeds for them to come back excited, and then you can get to that part where, you know what, okay, let's make that goal that you set really happen. Let's visualize it, and then let's start putting some names on paper, and maybe doing some 3-way calls if they're not ready. Reach out to your upline if you're not ready. To kind of get them to close a couple of deals so that they can see that 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, whatever in their back office. And then talk about going public. The way I make my coaches go public is I usually determine if it's somebody who did great on the 3-day cleanse and came in as a coach, I ask them if I can make it public. If they're not ready, but most of the time you shouldn't use that judgment. You should try to push for them. You know, and I'm working on that because I'm not perfect. You know, I think that making them post it on their wall has more value because that way they get a person that, you know, just gives them a compliment. And maybe even something more will happen, and they'll get family members involved that will want to join the challenge. And then at that point, they'll come into my challenge until that coach is ready. This is where you can name maybe your coach and apprentice coach, right? Until you get them going further. And once you've done that, the next process was talk about the activity tracker. I wouldn't do this on the same call. I would kind of let the stuff from the 7-day quick start marinate, get them to an event. So we have Super Saturday every 3 months. So usually you can get a coach pretty much to every to a Super Saturday. So let's say you signed up 4 coaches in the month. You know, before you go over systems, if it's somebody who's still in their journey and not eager, like, you have to use your judgment. You want to get them to a Super Saturday or to one of our workshops or whatever it is, or maybe a one-on-one, and then share what we have, a 21-day business toolbox. Is it that what it's called? It's a business 21-day business in a box. And what the business in a box is it gives you a day-to-day what to do every single day. Like, it literally walks you through like a baby on how to take this business to the next level in 21 days. But you just use your judgment as to who you're going to share it with, and make sure they've done their Coach Basics first and that they've done their online training academy. George has actually given us a great idea that he's kind of condensing the Coach Basics with this training. So I guess we can talk about that you can talk about that with your upline and see how they prefer you to handle it. We're still in the developing stages as to what's working best in getting coaches started right. And then we have something called the automatic CEO. I'm not going to go into the automatic CEO. Your diamond coach should have that, and you can go to them for that information. The automatic CEO is just like another avenue to kind of help deliver training to your team and to your new coaches. So that's it for managing systems in a uniform process. Did you want to add anything to that, George or Micki?
Covered everything.
The one thing that I do want to just mention really quickly in reference to the business activity tracker is that it really is a non-negotiable. And I believe it does say, it says that in the agenda. And the reason why it's non-negotiable is because just like your fitness program, especially those that are doing a resistance training program such as P90X or Shooting Extreme or Body Beast, everyone has a workout sheet. Right?
Definitely.
Where you have to write down your reps and the weights. And you measure your strength week over week by writing down your numbers. It's the same concept with your business. You have to write down your activity, how you're doing, so you can see what area of your business you need to focus on. Perhaps maybe if you're not getting enough invites out, maybe it's because you're not adding enough people in your contact list. You're not.
It measures you at the end of the week.
It's a measuring tool.
Yeah. The only thing I said was when they do the 7-day quick start, they gotta first see where the coach's mind is.
Right. I just
but
want,
this is a not like if I wouldn't have done this.
Yeah, but I just want to highlight that this really is a non-negotiable, not for us, but for you. So you can measure how you're doing with your business.
Well, I still measure myself.
Yeah.
Because when I don't have
No, I know. What I'm saying, it's not for you. For us, it's for them, so you can know how you're doing with your business.
And while you're a new coach, you might not understand how to measure yourself. Your sponsor can see that, and they can help you figure out where the gaps are.
Yeah. So, like, for example, you know, it has the list of the things you have to be doing every single day. And if you, at the end of the week, don't meet your goal, there's something in there that's not working, or maybe you're doing too much of one thing and not the other, and maybe you're doing something you're not good at. The way this was a blessing for me, Micki, because this helped me understand where I was strong. And usually people, they say do what makes you uncomfortable, but you also can't ignore the things you're strong in. See, I'm strong with Instagram. My avenue is Instagram. I've mastered Instagram. So my activity tracker always has a lot more in the Instagram part. So this actually helps you understand what you need work on, what you can do better, what you can spend more time on, so that you meet your goals. So yeah, thank you for highlighting that for me. And then I think George is gonna go over starting the basics of starting and running a challenge group. At this point, we're supposed to watch a video. If you did your training, you watched it already, right? The training academy.
And I guess depending on where we post this, maybe we can put a link below or something.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, that's a good idea.
Watch it.
The challenge groups are, you know, that's where you grow your business, guys, because as you start adding folks into your challenge group and you start helping them, remember what our motto is to help people live a healthy, fulfilling life. And you're going to see your clients go through their own transformation. And that's where you also identify who your future coaches are. It's within your challenge group. You know, you bring them from the outside world, bring them into your challenge group so they can be held accountable to their own health and fitness. And they're going to start evolving.
It's the foundation of being a coach.
The challenge group.
No challenge group, no coaching.
Right. So everyone should have a challenge group. I know it's a little scary in the beginning, you know, to go out there, but the great thing is that when you're a new coach and in this business, you're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. You have the Verizon network behind you, which is Team Ego.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So, anything we want to add?
Well, that George is going to go over that.
Okay.
The processes.
I'm going to excuse myself for 1 second. I'll be back.
So, going over really quickly. So, I'm a very visual person, and I like to understand things a different way. So, for anybody that might be the same way, I like to tell some of my people, imagine you're going for a job interview, right? And you're sitting in the waiting room of human resources. And you have all these people around you. Everybody's dressed up. Everybody's looking down at their papers. It's really, that's your challenge group. It's that waiting room for human resources. You're the person conducting the interviews. They don't even know it. It's like one of those secret interviews. And if your challenge group is great, if you're working on your challenge group, if you're adding people into your challenge group, and that waiting room is like a party, you know, it's going to be, everybody's going to be excited to be there. And that's where you're going to pull your future coaches out of. You know what I mean? So in the beginning, you might be afraid to present the business opportunity, but you can sneak the business opportunity in through your challenge groups by pulling out the people who are strongest in your challenge groups, which you're going to find on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook pages. You know, maybe you're in some high school alumni pages. You have a reunion coming up, or some old employers, and you're in their Facebook group, and everybody still connects. Or you're, for example, a home health aide, because I was just talking to one of my coaches the other day, and she's a home health aide. She's in a bunch of home health aide groups on Facebook, and she's relating to some of these people and befriending them on Facebook. And that's how you're going to grow your market. That's how you're going to get people to invite. That's how you're going to fill your challenge groups up. And then when you're inviting them, the next topic there is the 5-step process. So I think, do we have it here for that? But we can.
That's in the reference material. We want to encourage everyone to learn their back office. We can't enable you and give you the 5-step process. And in Team Eagle Files is Micki's revised version and mine. where we've completely changed it around, and you can kind of take that and change it around. But if you want the actual 5-step process that Tommy Magnan talks about, you go to the back office and it's under reference material.
And the purpose for these processes is so that you have a system, so that you're not giving too much information. You're not just vomiting on people and completely putting them off, because people are simple. People are all very simple. They just want to know, does this work? Is it going to help me? And how much does it cost?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when you break it out into 5 steps, you're just feeding them a little bit of information. You're asking them questions. You're keeping them engaged versus telling them everything in one shot, letting them make a decision based off of all this information that they probably didn't even want to read because the message was so big.
Mm-hmm.
And you just blew it right there,
there is the way this 5-step process was designed. It was designed by a professional, and you're not network marketing professionals yet. I'm still not a network marketing professional. And why am I going to go in and try to change things and say things my way and throw up all over people and scare them away with the wrong information? It's just like when you go into buying a car, there's a certain salesman that's going to annoy the crap out of you because he's just obnoxious and arrogant and pushy. You can't be that way. So this process stops you from making those mistakes. And there's a known fact that people usually only read the first 3 lines and the last, maybe the 3 lines. Usually it's the first 2 and the last 2. That's why your captions on your posts, they need to be shortened. So when you're sending these messages, break it up and let the stuff that you're sending be powerful, and don't say so much and don't make it so strict. When I ask my coaches to send me, because they've gone through the process and a lot of my challengers, George, I put them on a really strict meal plan. So it's kind of like I make them Nazis. So when they get customers, they're like, you can't eat bread. You can't drink coffee. You can't drink anymore. I know me, when I was 240 pounds, if you told me that I couldn't have bread, I wasn't joining your damn challenge group. Mm-hmm. So you have to go in slow with these people and just kind of ease them. You got to be that peer, supportive, understanding person. And when you have them in, the way they learn is by watching your other challengers. And it's like a process that they have to go through. Like, don't forget where you came from and how long it took you to understand your body and learn.
Yeah. And you know what's really great now? Because we didn't have the 21-day fix when we first came aboard. That's why I love the 21-day fix.
Mm-hmm. Because it eases people in.
It eases people in. And really, the only stuff that's not on the list is junk food, which we shouldn't be eating anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you.
But I've seen my coaches' conversations, and they literally say that. In my challenge, you're not going to eat bread. You're not going to eat this. You're not going to eat that. Not. You can't do that.
You can't say what you fear or what you love, because everybody's motivated in a different way.
Exactly.
So you have to be neutral.
Yep.
Absolutely. Okay. So what else is in here? We're going to talk about branding. Do you want to, we'll tag team on it because you're good at branding. You have a good brand, George.
My brand is in the works right now. It's being revamped.
We're always a work in progress, right?
You know what? It is, but it's still, I'll tell you what his brand is. And usually the way you know what somebody's brand is you go to their Instagram and you just look at their last 5 pictures. It's that simple. So if your last 5 pictures don't describe you in any way, go look at yours. Micki's always checking herself because we're our biggest critics, and I'm my biggest critic.
How did you know I was going in there?
Because I know you. I look at my Instagram every day, and if I don't see that I'm reflecting who I am daily, I find something to describe me, to show people who I am, because we forget that we're marketing to new people every single day. If you're following every day, like I've shown a lot of you how to follow, which we'll go over now, you should be marketing yourself every day. Show something about yourself. So if I look at George, George is totally funny. Let me see yours, George. Okay, so if I look at him,
we're gonna turn this over to the expert because she did say Instagram. She's got that.
Yeah, I got that. Okay, so I would totally be turned on by this dude because I love cars. Oh. So he just got this new car.
We're gonna try out when we
So I'm not gonna talk about that because I'm expecting him to post a blog about it because it's just so fucking hot. So right away I know he hangs out with cool people. He's always having fun. He's into fitness. He's funny. He knows a bunch of hot girls. He likes cookies. He eats clean. Look at that. He fucking likes cookies, and I saw it in his pictures. I cursed. I'm sorry, Micki. He stays up at night. He has swag. Look at him in a suit over here. Like, really, how many things did I just? Yeah, he's freaking cute. He's hot. All right, so if you don't see that in your pictures, your Instagram is a liar. Go back and change it.
I like the red pants.
Yeah, look, he's like
matches the car.
It matches the car.
Go back.
It matches the car. It matches the car.
Totally. All right, so I'm gonna act like I don't know Micki. All right, I go on her Instagram. She hangs out with this girl and they eat healthy. She graduated from high school because there's a throwback picture. She's having some fun workout with some cute Asian chick, and she freaking sweats a lot. She works out like a beast.
Did you see that sweat?
She goes on vacation. She likes jewelry. Oh my God, I want her to be my coach. That's all. She has nephews and nieces. Can totally relate because I have kids. She likes massages. All from her freaking Instagram. Like, this is what you guys are missing.
And I learned from you, Sally.
I have not seen anything about Shakeology in here. You're not kissing the Shakeology cup. No weird.
No, I don't.
Shakeology. I mean, you went on vacation. Wow, look at that. And she has these cute friends. Look at that. Who's that?
Oh, and wait till I post the updated pictures.
Oh, she has a brother. Oh my God, look at that.
Who's a character.
Oh, she has these fitness challenges. Oh, and she's with her mom. Oh my God. Oh, she's spiritual. I see spiritual stuff here.
Every day.
She had an event.
My God,
what is this Team Eagle?
George likes my God morning.
What is this Team Eagle stuff? Who is this girl? She has some 21 day thing. Like, I want to know more. That's it. That's it. So look at your pictures and stop posting, the workout and the Shakeology every single day. It's 80% you and 20% what you have changed into because of Beachbody. Not that you're selling a challenge pack on every other picture. Don't do that. You're just scaring people away and you're losing followers. If you want more Instagram training, there is a handout that is like gold. One of our top Success Club earner, Vicky Lugo, who you will see every single month being shouted out on the page, wrote it out with another one of my coaches, Dislene Pichardo, and they had a really cool, we had what did we have? A trade show where they showed people how to use Instagram. And you can also look up Chalene Johnson on YouTube, and she talks about all the stuff that we talked about today, and she gives you a lot of insights on how to work Instagram. But
she has a podcast now too.
She does. I went on it last night and I was on fire. I was texting you guys.
Oh, you know what? Talk about Instagram. You know what I love about Instagram right now? That you can have a whole conversation in here. Mm-hmm. So just if you're doing Instagram, please ensure that you're checking for messages, because I kind of like overlooked that the other day.
The DMs.
Yeah, but I still try to bring them over to Facebook. I
know, but I didn't realize it was there until wait a minute.
I do use it, but in there I move them over to Facebook, and the reason why I always have a call to action, and I always move my clients to Facebook because that's where they can get inspired by my daily posts, and they can actually interact with me, and they can see my team, and they can see what I'm about. Because I try not to follow other coaches and stuff like that, because then I don't know who's who. And then you're going to learn a lot of stuff from Chalene Johnson's YouTube channel. The thing that I will encourage you, she gives a lot of tips. Do not miss what she says about doing everything she says. You have to look at where you are in your business and use certain things that apply. Like if you have an Instagram page that's already pretty much built and you just need to stop being a liar and just change it up, like don't make a feature page. Like, why do that? That's if you're starting out and you want to go that route. I personally don't like feature pages. I don't have time for them. So kind of use your judgment on that and implement the things that will work. Like she said, to post a post that's inspirational and say tag 5 of your friends. You get an instant 100 followers like that. So that kind of stuff you want to do right away. But the other stuff, kind of go back and forth with your you know, like go to your upline and say, listen, I already have my Instagram page. I don't know. You think I should do a feature page? And kind of talk about it. So that's it for Instagram.
Just to kind of like if I could go back in time, I would just create an Instagram for me. When I first started, before any of all these trainings, I created Instagram. I didn't even have Instagram. I created one that was kind of like a feature page without even knowing what a feature page was. But if I go back, I would undo all that. Yeah,
a feature page is more like for somebody who's like Chalene Johnson.
Right.
You know, she's a motivational speaker who wants to shout people out. Because, like, why would I want to shout out other people's business? Like, I don't think that works for us. And then the thing is that Chalene Johnson makes these videos in general. It's not only for Beachbody coaches.
Right.
Her sister doesn't have a feature page, so why should you?
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line. Do what her sister does, because usually her sister does what works. The other avenue is YouTube. And probably half of our coaches don't use YouTube. Our top coach, male coach, Wayne Wyatt, his and also Barbie Decker's coach, what is his name? You hung out with him. I love him to death. Oh my God, I have a brain fart. We'll get back to you on that name. Micki, you'll get it. But these guys, Josh Spencer, these guys built their entire business through YouTube videos. And we're talking about an orthodontist who had no time. You know, now he has a staff that helps him, obviously, but these guys are the real deal. And they, you know, and I love their market because it's young guys who want to, you know, work out and do things right instead of going to steroids and all that crap. So, you know, look at them. Like, look at what they do. They interact on their YouTube channels, just like Facebook. You just got to, you know, overcome the fear and use it. The other avenue is high school alumni pages, which George talked about, and specific groups. Like, I go into Nordstrom and I comment on people's clothes. Like, I go into everywhere. Sometimes you'll find me in Vaina Dominicana and all that crap. And
sometimes I get tagged by Saudi.
Yeah, where the hell is she?
Where is she now?
Yeah, so whatever rocks your boat, and find what works. And you do what works. You have to be willing to reinvent yourself and be in the trend of what's in. So get together with your teenage kids because they usually know what's in.
Some teenage kids.
You can borrow Anthony. You can take them.
You can rent them out.
You can take them. So that covers branding. So that's what we went over, branding. So you want to look at your page, and it all starts with what Micki said to do in the beginning on writing your story and putting out that word on Facebook so that you can come up with your power statement. And that's when you kind of get to know yourself, and you will project the correct person on Instagram. Because most of us don't project the right person, and we kind of, you know, have this ego and we try to act all cool, like, you know, we're who we're not. And honestly, who you really are is who you want to be, right?
Yep.
So let's talk about the power of 3. Micki, you know, I never added the new power of 3 that you and I found that was really short and sweet. So maybe we'll add that part later. We have the longer version that George found.
This one?
Yeah. Which I don't know, you know, that short one that we got from the wall was just so cute. The other power of 3.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot to update that. Do you want to briefly go into this? I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just.
So just really quickly, the power of 3. First, let's talk about just a couple of minutes about the 3 vital behaviors. And, you know, it's called the 3 vital behaviors for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you are going to the doctor's office, or you're in the emergency room, I should say, not even the doctor's office, right? When you're going to the emergency room, what do they check?
Your vitals.
Your vital signs. And what are the vital signs?
Pulse.
The pulse. So if there's no pulse,
there's no nothing.
You did. Which means that if you don't follow the 3 vital behaviors of a Beachbody coach, your business is not going to your business is not going to take off. And you know, so many coaches want to know the secret recipe. The secret recipe. The secret is follow the 3 vital behaviors. Be a product of the product, ensuring that you're doing one of the Beachbody programs, that you're drinking your Shakeology every day. That you're inviting people. I think I said them out of order, but
right.
They all have the same value. If you could do one and not the other two, and you're going to flop. You can do 2 out of 3, you're going to flop. Somewhere along the line, you're going to flop. When you're finding yourself off balance, you can rest assured that you're not following the 3 vital behaviors. And, you know, we all have our preference of which one should go first, which one should go last. You know, for me, personal development is so important, because if your mind is not right, nothing else is going to be right. If your mind is not right, you're not going to work out because you're screwed up in the head, you can't focus. And if you can't focus and you're not right in the head, you're not going to invite people.
Yeah.
So,
I think so.
So that's why for me, the personal development is so important.
It's key.
It's key. So, you know, in Team Eagle, I mean, we've got so many files in there, but there's a video, and I think the file might be called motivational videos, I think, in there. And there's one with Darren Hardy, and it's a good 45 minutes, because it's a good 45 minutes. But he gives an analogy about the personal development, and I just want to share with you guys. Can I borrow your bottle of water?
Yes. Oh, okay. I love this analogy.
So let's just say, for the most part, let's just say that this bottle of water, we're going to make believe that this bottle of water is dark. So we're going to make believe that it's dirty, okay? And so now what you're going to do is you're going to take that bottle of water and you're going to place it under the faucet. You're going to turn on the faucet. So we'll make believe this is the faucet. And as the water is pouring into the bottle of the dirty water, what do you think is happening to the bottle of dirty water?
It's flushing.
It's flushing. So it's flushing out the dirty water. So think of the faucet as personal development. And as you invest into personal development on a daily basis, like you brush your teeth, I hope you brush your teeth, what it does is starts flushing out the darkness in your mind. And that's why personal development, for me, the best time to do it is in the morning, because it just sets the tone for your day. 10 pages a day, 10 minutes, whatever it is, wherever it is. If you take the train to work, then listen to it on your way to work. If you drive, plug it in, you know, as you're driving, instead of listening to some rap song that doesn't have any purpose in your life. Listen to Darren Hardy, you know, listen to Danny Johnson, to Eric Worre. Listen to anyone that is going to inspire you and get you out of, you know, whatever funk you may be, because, you know, life happens. So the power of 3, the 3 vital behaviors, I cannot stress it enough. If you don't do one over the other, if you don't do any, you're going to struggle. Bottom line is you're going to struggle. So,
So if you find yourself in 2 months asking people what the secret is, it's because you're missing one of those.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
or you skipped A and you went down to C and you never got A.
Exactly. And in the document that you have, that you should have printed out, George did share with us the law of 3, and it's a great actually to-do list. Like, you know, put it next to your computer and look at it every day and just follow it every day. And it's the law of 3. You know, adding people to your contact list, reaching out, you know, posting 3 times a day, messaging at least 3 people a day, weekly posting about a challenge group that you have going on. So
we actually have a condensed one that I have to share with you, George. It's really cool that we got from the top 10 coaches, and we'll put it on there so that you can kind of like just carry it with you and make it easier, so it reminds you. So I'll make a note, post the power of 3.
So we're gonna post the power of 3,
and they should keep this one, because this is like the real deal, because George went into detail.
Right.
But just so like they have something to remind them, we'll post that shorter version, condensed version. And then the next topic is also for you, because you just love talking about Success Club.
Right. So Success Club. So Success Club is our rewards program. And why is it so important to hit Success Club every month? Number 1 is how Beachbody measures, and you should be measuring, the growth of your business. Is this screen moving, or is it just me?
You know what? It was moving.
It was moving, right?
Because I was moving my leg.
Oh, I feel like I felt like I was a bobblehead there for a second. I'm like,
I think the 2 espressos I had this morning are keeping.
Oh Lord, okay, don't.
I'm not gonna move it.
Don't move anymore, because I was like bugging out. Like,
I
Remind
was
me.
like, maybe there's a train
Yeah.
somewhere.
Oh, it wasn't just me, right? Okay.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay. But it's how you build your business. It's through Success Club. So when you're hitting Success Club, that means that you're growing volume in your business. You're getting more commission checks. When you're adding new coaches to your organization, that means that you're going up in ranking as you keep building up your team. And then once we mentioned earlier, when you hit Emerald, when you move up to ranking of Emerald, and then you hit Success Club every month. Are we on, George?
We're on.
All right. So
Yeah.
now we're back to talk about Success Club. We lost one of our trainers. Where'd she go? She's actually in her new role as a domestic goddess. Check her out.
Apron on.
She's got the apron on. So she's got to cook for the family and for George and for me, you know, because we're always hungry. All right, guys, so Success Club. Why is it so important to hit Success Club? Well, first of all, it builds your business. And that is how we measure the growth of your business. When you hit Success Club consecutively every month, whether you're bringing on challengers or you're bringing on coaches, it means that you are growing. Your volume is growing. Your team is growing when you're bringing them as coaches. As a matter of fact, isn't that how I got you, George?
Yes.
I got George through a lead. So I hit Success Club. Actually, wait a minute. That was through the Coach Diamond. Coach Connection program. Another perk, when you hit Diamond ranking, you get coaches assigned to you. And that's how I got George. But I had to hit Success Club without Success Club. Say that 10 times. Say that 10 times.
Success Club. Success Club. Success Club. Success Club.
He lost it. I know. So yeah, so will you. So just letting you know. But yeah, guys, all kidding aside, when you hit Emerald ranking and you help at least 3 people a month with their health and fitness, Beachbody rewards us, and they reward us with free customers. You know how sometimes at 2 o'clock in the morning, you might be, you know, at a channel surfing, and all of a sudden, pow, you get a Insanity infomercial or a P90X infomercial. And you know what happens? Those people, yep,
Hello.
exactly how they do.
I like to lose 20 pounds.
Exactly, you know, and those people get assigned a coach. So what Beachbody does is they take all this pool of all these customers and they take a look at all emeralds and above, and they assign these customers. There is no company out there that will give you free customers. So you start making money on these customers that you haven't even met. So really important to send them a welcome email. So that's number 1, builds your business. Secondly, you earn Success Club trips, free trips. Yeah, we just got back from an amazing cruise last March. And it was awesome because we didn't have to pay for anything.
Entire ship chartered by Beachbody, Royal Caribbean.
Exactly.
That's serious.
It was serious. It was also a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. And it was actually the first time ever that I took a family vacation with my siblings and my sister-in-law, brother-in-law, my nieces and my nephews, because, you know, our schedule never agreed. We could never, you know, do a trip together. The beauty of my siblings doing this business with me is that now we can take free vacations together. How amazing is that? So, free trips. Hey, aren't we going to a free trip next week?
Leadership in Arizona.
Leadership in Arizona.
And Cancun in April.
In Cancun in April.
All paid for.
All paid for by Beachbody, just for helping people. How amazing is this company? They reward us for helping them with their mission of ending the trend of obesity, of helping people live a healthy, fulfilling life. And you know what? Preventing diseases. Because at the end of the day, if we live a healthy lifestyle and we eat healthy, we can prevent high blood pressure, cholesterol, heart disease, you name it. What else? What else can we add to Success Club? So we build our business, we earn Success Club leads, we win free trips. It can't get better than that. But I do have one story that I want to share. So as I said earlier in the training, I used to work for Citibank. And 2.5 years ago, when I resigned from Citibank, I resigned at a very high note in my career with them. And I had earned a free trip. It was called City Stars. And it was to this amazing amazing resort. You know what it is? Saudi's food is getting me hungry. Anyway, amazing resort in Arizona. And I gave it up. I gave it up because I was not going to go on a trip with people that honestly I didn't want to be around with. And guess where we're going for leadership? To the same resort. That's some crazy. That's crazy. It really
better
is.
people.
With better people, with my team. My team now is my second family. So I am super, super stoked about that. So I just wanted to share that with you. I took that leap of faith 2.5 years ago, and look how God is blessing me now. So hit Success Club, help people achieve their goals, and you know what happens? You achieve your goals. It's a win-win. That's what I love about this business. It's a win-win situation. So, all right. So the last part of our training tonight is the strategy to build your team. And I'm going to hand it over to my business partner, George, and he's going to share with us some tips. He's going to draw a little bit for us because he's good at that. So, George, it's all yours. It's all yours.
So if you go to that page in your booklet that looks like this, has dollar signs, numbers, ranks, all that fun stuff, it's going to show you how much you can earn at each rank within Team Beachbody. So when you start hitting all of your leadership ranks, actually when you start hitting diamond, you could be a six-figure earner. You can build a six-figure business when you become a diamond Beachbody coach. I like to tell people when you become a diamond, that's when you start to build a foundation for your business. This is when you start to compound on that residual income week after week after week. And if you can build $2,000 a week income as a diamond, just by helping other people get in shape, then why not? And it tells you here exactly what you need to do to get that. So basically the residual income is based off of team volume. Notice that's not your volume. It's not just Micki's volume. It's team volume. So in your downline, I am Micki's coach. So me and her together are building volume on one leg along with other coaches, obviously, but the team multiplies. It's all about multiplying who you are and teaching people how to be just like you so that you can build together. So everybody works together as a team to get to the end result faster. So it says here to make $1,400 a week, you should have 80 cycles a week. And if you watch that video by, what's his name, Michael Neiman.
He explains it better than me.
Oh, yeah.
He's actually a funny guy, right? Funny guy. We gotta get him to New York.
Sure.
He's gotta come to one of our Super Saturdays.
Next time,
right?
We'll fight for that.
We're gonna fight for that. Okay.
But he'll show you exactly how to get cycle bonuses. You should know that already because you probably watched the video in your online training academy. So if you do 80 cycles a week, you're making $1,400 a week. Now it'll take you a long time to get 80 Shakeology orders on your business by yourself. But with partners, you can do that like this. You can do it in 2 months. If you have 10 people all working together, 8 customers each, that's 80 cycles right there. So that's the beauty of teamwork. You do it together. And it shows you here all the way up to 10-star diamond. You can make up to $12,000 a week just in bonuses.
So George, just taking a look at, at that sheet, and obviously there seems to be a cap in every rank. So just by looking at that, it makes sense to move up in ranking.
Yep.
Because, your first goal is to hit emerald. But according to this sheet, it says that the maximum is 250.
Yeah.
So what happens if you make more than 250 for team cycle? Does an emerald keep that money? That
money is lost. So if you're an emerald coach and you're maxing out your team cycles, you're throwing money in the garbage.
So we try to keep it?
Yeah. And it comes in other forms to other coaches who earn it through quarterly bonus payouts. So don't give your money to me or to them.
Help more people. Help more people. She's back. Help more people. Bring more people to the team, right? Because that's how you move up in ranking.
Why make $250 a week when for just a little bit of extra work you could jump to $1,000 a week or $2,000 a week? It makes no sense. It's dumb, in my opinion.
Okay.
But that's it. I mean, don't limit yourself, and don't just chase rank either. Build a team and go for rank. You don't want to have ridiculously high rank, very low income, because that just doesn't look right at all. You want to balance it. You want to just work. If you work hard, if you trust the process, if you're truly helping people and duplicating yourself, it's just going to happen. Don't worry about it. I wouldn't think too much into it. Let's see. So the next topic is placement. So when you're signing up new coaches, how do we have it?
You see it? Let me move out of the way so you can get a better view of what George is going to do.
We might have to move it a little forward. I think that's what we did. Move your paperwork, Micki. George, tell me if it's good there.
Yeah, that's good. All right.
I think you got off level. There you go. You're good.
Good. All right. So that's you. Oh, it came out darker this time.
It did?
Yeah. So that's you in your genealogy report. You'll see what that is in your online office if you watch the videos. Let's say your sponsor is up here. Sponsor. We'll give them a little circle at the top there. And then you. Now you sign up your first two coaches, right? So if you're in this for the long haul, I won't get into that yet. All right, so you sign up coach number 1 here. Coach number 2 there. Left leg, right leg. This now makes you an emerald. Now, as long as these two people have 50 PV, you remain an active emerald coach. Now, your sponsor, we're going to fill in theirs so that we can tell who's who. Signs up another coach, and he or she puts them there. They sign up another coach. He or she puts them there. So if you log on and you see, and you sign up another coach, this is your third one. You sign up, you're having an awesome month. You sign up another coach, that's your fourth one. So yours are white, your sponsor's coaches are filled in dark. So you see here, you're not building this leg alone anymore. This is you plus your coach building together, right? If I had another color, I would add a third coach in here so you can see visually how this team is growing on this side here by the efforts of two people. But you'll notice that on this side, nobody is being put there except for your coaches, right? That's because from your sponsor's point of view, this is their outside leg. This is your outside leg. They wouldn't put somebody here because that's an inside. So you always want to add your coaches in a straight line. See that line there? Make that imaginary line go down forever and ever and ever. Adding your coaches on the outsides. You'll never add a coach in here. That's a big no-no. You'll never add a coach in here. That's a big no-no. Far, outside, wide strategy. If we all do that, you build a team a lot faster. And everybody's in a good position to make an income in the future because everybody will have one strong leg. For example, now you, when you get to this point, this is your weak leg, but eventually this is going to be a strong leg for these people right here, right? So if you teach them to do the same thing, you're all going to build this leg fast, right? And this is where you're going to grow your long-term residual income. Now, going a little bit further into, for anybody who is really new, if you're just starting and you haven't started building a team yet, or maybe you just started building a team and you have like one or two coaches, make sure that you sign up your spouse, your husband, your wife, your mother, your father, your kids if they're old enough, anybody in the household who you can manage that business center, you want to put them on your weak leg. Get one of the very first positions on your weak leg. Let's say this is me, George. I'm taking your thing away. I'm claiming it as mine. This is my business. My very first spot is now my mother's. Right? It used to be my wife. We switched that. We took care of it, put it under my mother's name because of everything that's going on. That's another story. That's in the why. We talked about that earlier. Anyways, so now here we are with a team of 500 coaches in this downline. So coach number 6 signed up a whole bunch of people. Coach number 4 signed up a whole bunch of people. This person became an emerald here, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. So you see, my mother now has a position in this downline with over just about 500 coaches generating volume. So what I'm going to do next, or what I already did, I put and I'll make a new video in the future, but just want you to have an idea why it's important. My second business center here. So now as I build this business center, it's going to make her more money and it's going to make me more money up here. So you don't have to worry about all that right now. What you do have to worry about is knowing that it's important for you to make more money later for having one of these first spots on your weak leg. So make sure you talk to your sponsor about that if you aren't quite getting this yet. But I think that covers everything. Always stay on the outsides. Don't throw people randomly in the middle here. Keep them in a straight line, left, right side. Build your team together. Go over the very last page, which is your compensation plan highlights. Talks about all the different ways you can earn money as a Beachbody coach and the requirements for each rank, right? Because just because you earn a rank doesn't mean you keep it forever. There's bonuses, all kinds of stuff. So you want to take a look at that. That covers income. I hope you're all motivated now to make some money. I know I am.
I am too. All right.
Always motivated.
So guys, I hope we hope that you truly enjoyed this virtual training, and we had a lot of fun putting it together. It was actually our first time doing it. It was a lot of fun. I felt like I was like on the Oprah show or something.
It was really cool. I enjoyed it. And George, you touched some really, really key points, and you think, it may be confusing to tell someone to put their parent in that weak leg, but it's actually very, very important and very valuable, because if someone doesn't do that in the beginning and they just start signing up coaches, that can easily just delay the process of you becoming a successful coach and getting to these earning ranks. It's good to have control of that one position up there, because it's easy for you, if you're on fire and you're adding coaches and maybe your team is not just as encouraged as you can always create an emerald yourself and be halfway through the process of becoming a diamond. That's how I did it. I had control of my first 2 emeralds, and it really does motivate you, because once you build that foundation of a diamond coach, the income, it just starts to generate as you work with your team, and I want to emphasize, becoming a diamond is about you. It's about your efforts and your work. But becoming a 6-figure earner and star diamond and above is about your team. And that's where you have to start doing these type of things. I hope you use this training as a foundation to show you what are the type of things that George, Micki, and I are doing with our team to become successful, so that our team can also duplicate what we're doing and they can also become successful. That's how you get to, 10-star and above. That's how you get the bonuses. It's not a miracle that just, falls from the sky. You got to really get down and dirty and work your business, roll up your sleeves, and work hard. It's not easy. Nothing that has the value that this has is easy, but you have to be determined. And like George said, take it serious. It's something that is very serious and is very valuable. These income figures are the real deal. Okay. So he's experiencing it. Micki is, I am. And I can't see why anybody wouldn't want to do this.
And the way that you can do this, guys, and I can't stress it, this will be my closing words to you, is to follow the 3 vital behaviors, become teachable, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Whatever we're teaching you to do it. Don't question it, do it, because this is how we got here. And we got here by working our butts off, by educating ourselves. We didn't have an upline support system to teach us. We learned let's roll up our sleeves and get down and dirty and figure this out.
And make mistakes.
And make mistakes along the way.
Fail forward, like Carl Deckler says.
Yes.
You fail forward, that's how you succeed. And a lot of you are scared to fail. Why?
And you always I just picked something up right now. When you said 19 months ago, Micki told me to treat this like a 6-figure business. And I did. And it is a 6-figure business now.
Good stuff.
But now, you just made me think, what now? I need to treat this like $1 million business now.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
That's right.
We're going to be in the Millionaires Club. That's what's going to happen. Team Eagles on the map. 5,000 coaches plus. We need you guys at Super Saturday.
Yes, Super Saturday. We're less than 3 weeks away. Jeff Hill, VP of Beachbody, is coming. Why? Because of Team Eagle. Let's make it happen, guys.
New Jersey, represent. Buy your tickets now. We're going to post the link below and get encouraged to do something that has meaning and live with purpose. Love you guys and peace out.
Peace out.